Okay, I'm gonna pick back up where I started, or where I sort of left off with the last video. The camera died. These are my African cichlids. I got a sorted mix with like different colors. I bought most of them from various pet shops, but when I left off in the last video was yesterday. I had gotten 2 peacocks, as you can see, one back there. Hold on, where is he at? Pretty colorful, orange and blue. Color out real nice as he matures and gets older. And then the other looks like, I do have an albino in here. Looks a lot like that one, but he's got other colors in him. He's right there. And then my albino is right there. So he's just smaller than the peacock albino looking one. What happened was I had 8 African cichlids, Mabuna, if I'm saying that right, and that's what they all were. And then I put them in, all 8 of them severely attacked the 2 peacocks. Like, they probably would have been dead by morning. So I took them right back out and done some reading and stuff, and they're less aggressive. They're more like a subspecies off of the Mabuna. I always feel like I'm saying that wrong. So then they went into the 10-gallon by themselves. That's my planet tank where I start like all my plants, get them started, and then I put them into the bigger tanks for the fish. But they were in there, and then I had done some research overnight and had looked at some things, and they were talking about, switch the tank up, throw them off, just put things out of whack, so they'll have to reestablish new territories and everything, and they'll be busy trying to reestablish and get to know their tank versus trying to single out the fish right away, which apparently it has worked. I done over a 50% water change like probably 20 minutes ago, and then when it was a little over halfway, I dumped these 2 guys back in, and they're not cornering them. I mean, as you can tell, they chase them a little bit, but nothing like it was. I mean, if it got that bad, again, they would have to go back in the other plant tank, or I got another 29-gallon over there with assorted, pretty docile fish. And I heard peacocks can make good community fish. So, if it comes down to it, I guess they'll end up in there with the angelfish and some tetras. But, so far, they seem to be doing pretty good. And it's nice. I was horrified that they were going to kill them by morning, so, and just sticking them back in, they seem to be doing pretty good. But, yeah, they do get a little, so all in all, I have about 10 of them now, and I'm hoping the aggression doesn't get too bad, and it stays pretty mediocre. But in this other tank over here, which has been, it had been treated for fin rot. Yesterday was the last day. Do now a 25 to 30% water change, which I will be doing. The angelfish is the ones that had the fin rot. As you can tell, the marbled one, if I can get a good view. Well, his top fin's like kind of clear, milky looking, almost see-through. It's where it's grown back. Their fins were completely shredded. See, his top is a little, but in like less than a week, we put some aquarium salt in to help with healing. Then done the fin rot every day, every evening for about a week. And they're looking great. I mean, they've made a complete comeback. Their fins look amazing now. They look like rag dolls there for a while. But, yep. And then, got my Chinese algae eater. I think that's what he is. Tetras. 2 different kinds. Got the orangey red ones back there, and those. I don't know all their scientific names or anything. The Pleiades or however you say that. Plants. And I love my favorite, other than my cichlids, is the snails. I got mystery snails and apple snails. They go by either or. They have totally, really, really hated the treatment on the tank, like big time. They're not as active, but hopefully that'll change. They had been in, I have a small tank, like a 10, 15 gallon something, that I usually put my plants in, which I have a lot of, what is it, dwarf, something, hair grass, there we go. I have quite a bit of that in there, which when I had those peacocks in there, man, oh my god, they destroyed it. Every piece, even the smallest pieces, because some of it's broken up, some of it's in hunks, they demolished it when I woke up this morning, and it was a wreck. So after I done that tank and got them back in with the other fish, which I'm quite happy, I replanted that tank. That's usually where I grow out a lot of my smaller plants, so the fish aren't picking at them too much and killing them before they have a chance to start. So, yep, this is the 29 gallon with just various fish, and they're all quite peaceful and get along pretty well, so that's a plus. I was thinking the two females, platies or whatever, were pregnant and had gotten a thing, like a hold thing, and nothing's happened. You know, they say wait so many weeks or something, and nothing's happened. I mean, they've gotten bigger, but not anything to... nothing really alarming as for, you know, Malawi bloat or whatever you ever call it. They're quite healthy and do just fine, but the dark spots, all the research I had done, supposedly maybe was a sign of pregnancy, but nothing's come of it, so maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just their intestines or something, I have no idea. But they're pretty healthy, everybody's doing great now. Yep. Other than my snails, they're still quite, not too happy, like I said. But that's that tank. And a lot of the plants, they've bushed up some. I've been slowly adding nutrients and things to it because it's not a pot, it's not a dirt. It's just regular, like the rocks. So yeah, every so often I have to add some nutrient stuff, I guess you could say, for aquatic plants. Safe for fish, of course. Yeah, and this tank still looks a little dull. It hasn't brightened up too much, only because we have the well water. It comes perfect out of the tap for any kind of like cichlid, really. Well, African cichlids, since they like the higher pH and everything. It's perfect. No, so I don't really have to use any chemicals or anything to balance it out. So, but I do put the clear water in. It helps, you know, clear it up since it is well water, and then it's great for them. And this is my, you know, first time ever having any kind of cichlids, which I'm quite happy with them compared to the piranhas. So I do notice that sometimes they do tear up their tank, but I had also started out with 3. I had gotten the what is it? I think the red zebra right there. It's like an orangey color or whatever, and the big blue, I call him in the background over there. And what is the no, it wasn't big blue. It was the gray one right there. That one, and the albino, the regular albino right there. 3 of them, man, they were so skittish. They hid all the time. It was like, what is wrong with my fish? And then I got to look, and they're like, either don't do as many, but then you have aggression problems, but then you maybe overstock a little bit, but you have to watch for, you know, like parasites and diseases. And so I was like, you know what, I'll do it a little overstocked. I mean, you know, apparently I keep up and I pay attention to my fish. I caught the fin rot. They're great. So yeah, I just hope all goes well. And as they get bigger and stuff, I do have a 75. They probably will eventually end up in. Then I'll probably maybe add another 10, so maybe 20 all in all. Maybe. I have no idea yet. I'm trying to see how hopefully these 2 adapt well into this tank that only had 8. But yeah, I've noticed the more you have, the less shy they are. Like, if I hadn't just fed them, they would have all been up here, like, begging for food, like they're about to start. But, yeah. All is well. Hopefully it stays that way. So, you know, I'm kind of a beginner when it comes to cichlids, you know. I learn as I go, which is kind of fun, honestly. I don't make any devastating mistakes and lose a fish, so I pay attention to things so that doesn't happen. I had a lot of, you know, fish and stuff as a kid growing up. But, yeah, it's a pretty neat hobby that I'm getting into. So, well, thanks for watching. I'll probably eventually post some more videos. Just find it really fun and neat. I mean, it's a good hobby to have. Thanks again.